Hello. Oh, nice. Lo-fi is right there at the front. Perfect. Just like you, chat. You know, I always thought it's really weird when I watch like some streamers and stuff. Is they refer to like, I mean, I don't know how else you would refer to it. My hair, I swear, my hair's like getting thinner and thinner. They'll say to them, they'll refer to them as chat because collectively it's like 1,000 people plus, and they're just like good one chat and all this. And it feels really weird to refer to like a huge sum of people as just like one term. But I mean, yeah, it's not much else you can really do. Oh wait, I didn't add my Twitch to it. My throat is terrible today. My throat's terrible every day, but you know. Was it the right way? That was the wrong way. That's a bit better. Let's get everything else sorted. Very nice. Hey, Mason. Mason? Say that. How's it going? Ah. As I said, definitely feel a hair in my mouth. Let's fix the chat. Good. And let's get Twitchy Bruno up. It wasn't working properly yesterday. But hopefully it's fine today. Oh, Megan Coleman is already here. I don't see pop out. Hello, Megan Coleman. Hello. We were looking at loads of British terms the other time. Oh, we didn't actually get through all of them because we started to talk about other topics. What's the... Oh. I'm a silly person. Pop you guys over it. Hello. What's going on here? What's going on here then? As a British person, I'm terrible at stereotypical British phrases. The amount of times I'm like, top of the morning to you laddie. I'm like, well, it's more like, top of the morning to you laddies. But that's not, I guess that is, oh no, it's not even British because Northern Ireland is UK, not Britain. I've always said Northern Ireland, like Ireland. One, because that is an irony, and two, because when I was younger, that's how everybody used to say it, that I knew who was Irish. So I've always just called it Ireland instead of Island. Northern Ireland. Let's get my documents up. I did have someone, was it a little bit ago, saying about like I shouldn't say it like that because I was like I'm mocking the accent or something. I don't know. I disagree. I learned how to say it like that from people who were from Ireland. I don't know. I don't see it as a bad thing that I said like that. At the end of the day, it's down to what your perspective and how you want to look at it. But oh, I got a nasty looking mark on my screen. Where's my cloth? Where's my trough? Get out of the way, blanket. Oh, there it is. That's it. You know, I do find it really funny anyway with accents because, like, the British accent, at least some British accents, people seem to forget that Britain encompasses Wales, Scotland, as well as England, which has a lot of distinct accents. I mean, you've got, like, the Queen's English, and that's, like, the really fancy... I can't really do it, but, you know, like, oh, you want a spot of tea or something? You know, very fancy, fancy wording. And then sort of a sub-tier of that is, like, kind of a lower class where it's like, all right, governor. And that's also an accent that most of us don't really have. Then you've got, like, a Liverpool accent and stuff like that, more northern. You've got more southern accent. You've got, like, a sort of farmer accents. Isn't there a song, The Combine Harvester? I've got a combine harvester and I'll give you the key. But I find it really funny because, like, it's very quick to jump on, like, trying to replicate other people's accents because it's like, oh, you should do that. But if you say to anybody outside of England, an English person, a British person, almost without fail, they'll always be like, oh, all right, governor. Like, they'll instantly say something in a stereotypical accent to you. So it's interesting to me. A rule for, was it? A rule for thee, but not for me. Or however it goes. A rule for me. A rule for thee, but not for me. Rule for thee and not for me. That's it. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, people go a little overboard and, you know, can get to the parts where it's quite, people being quite offensive. But when it's in jest, when it's just like, you know, you're just sort of trying to replicate the accent, I think that's fine. I don't think that should be as frowned upon as it sometimes is. So I started putting, like, scratches and stuff on, give some extra detailing, because it does have scratches. I don't know how heavy-handed I'm going to go on them. Because the problem is, it's got some really weird lighting. Because as I think I've mentioned it before, this lighting doesn't... One, the problem with concept art is they will draw lighting on. The lighting doesn't match up to everywhere on the asset. It's actually a bit funky where all the lighting is. Because, like, for example, already, the lighting is clearly... Well, according to the shadows... So these shadows aren't deep because it's coming from here. But these shadows are very interesting because if you look at the shadows here, it almost looks like the light is completely above. But then if we look at certain areas, why is there such a shine here and not at the top surface? Obviously, you can see sort of a shine, but it's coming to the side, so it doesn't make quite a lot of sense. So it's a bit awkward to try to replicate. I think what I'm going to do today is get some of these really, like, bold colors coming out. So I got kind of that going on, but it's definitely not to the level I'm looking for. If we actually get close, for some reason we're getting some really weird effects here, but we're not going to get that close to the asset anyway. So I think we'll be fine. It didn't quite bake the way I wanted it. I'm not quite sure why. But we're definitely getting pretty close with our final result. Hold on a minute. What screen am I looking at this way? Have you done much of the stream for the canon? I started to follow along, so just don't want to miss out of anything. No. Well, as in, like, now. I only just started streaming if you're referring to now. Don't want to miss out. That's good to hear. I did do a tiny bit off stream, so you might be looking at this like, oh wow, there's like all of this, there's all the wood on it. But we did the wood high poly. I just couldn't get it thingy. Also with the, it's really weird that the shadowing, because you've got like this really faint shadow. Like this is clearly quite thick cut chips. But then here, look how much darker it is. This is quite light, while this is quite dark. So it's really annoying because we have different types of shades where it shouldn't be. Here, I think I should have manually made it a mesh, because if we look at it, I mean, I could still do that, but if we look at it, it looks a bit garbage. It's a bit low quality. So I feel like I kind of want to manually do it. I think the wooden... I don't know, I just grabbed my taskbar. I think the wooden parts are fine. These wooden parts are fine because there's like heavy-handed detailing on there, so it's not too bad. I went back to your first canon stream, so just not sure. Oh, right. I see. God. How long ago was that now? Month and a half ago? I've definitely been a bit slow on this asset, but we've been just trying to have some fun, really. See, I didn't do the detailing quite right there anyway. So I might re-export this out, like the high poly out, and just make the detailing manually. More like this. So let's try to replicate that a little bit. So we're looking at big scratches. Big boy scratches, if you will. So first of all, I don't need like some of these detailings here. Or do I? No, I don't. I do want one like... Actually, no, here's fine. I will grab one here. And put it in. Do something like this. So we're still making engons, but we're cleaning up some areas before even starting. Like I've put these extra edge loops in to help avoid extra engons, because it's just nicer to not have loads of extra engons. Pull that over here. Put that there. Cool. Then we want to mark sharp. Got a nice cut in it now. Got a nice cut of your jib. Weirdly enough, the normals look a bit funky. Cool. Well, no, we can't get away with not making that sharp. I kind of want to do this. There you go. And if we get these more leveled out. Disgusting engons. Hold on a minute. Hold your horses. This can be cleared sharp. Be marked sharp. Actually that's fine. Cool. Sweetness. I'm gonna put that in even more. Oh, I don't have relax in here, do I? I've got smooth. I do have relax. Not quite what I was looking for, but it's equaled it out a little bit. Cool. We're looking at stuff like that, right? So when you go back here, you can actually see that. We're looking to replicate that basically here as well. We'll remove that. I should have really added another one here, so I can start doing cuts elsewhere. So we're just going to do this like that. Again, having this extra geometry just makes it a little bit easier later on, so we haven't got to worry about it. I mean, this is four-sided. I think this is all four-sided shapes now, right? Yeah, we're looking at tris and four-sided shapes, so we're actually good now. But I'm not too fast with that. So this one's a bit chunkier. It looks like it goes really deep, like so deep that I could probably just do like, nope. Please, there. It comes very far down, so I'm gonna have to do something like this. Can we get rid of that one? Yes. Cool. And do I actually want to make it a solid cut? Hey, moderate, how's it going? So deep. Jesus Christ. So I guess I could do that up to here, 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 right? Then let's pull that in a bit. And then all I've got to do is basically drag this down, right? If we grab this, pull this, pull this, you get a nice cut in there. Essentially what we want. We could, if we wanted to get the extra detailing, is just to like a bevel here. But I don't think we need that. I think that's fine. I definitely want it wider at the base. Let's go merge distance. The reason we're doing that. Oh, what? Does it merge already when you... Oh, I didn't bevel it, did I? I took away the bevel and did it manually. Let's pull this in as well. You know, let's talk about Hollow Knights a little bit. Someone wrote about Hollow Knights in chat. Hollow Knights is a very, very good game. And I said that in chat. It was very, very good. My issue with it is it made me very quickly realize I do not like games. In general, I don't like games where I can get lost, I will say. But it made me realize I don't like Castlevania games because it feels like those games. And when I looked at it online, lots of people said, oh, that's the appeal to the game, which is fair enough. But the game felt like it was designed to make me get lost. And I was just like, always running around. The amount of times I was running around in a completely different environment where I was supposed to be. Because it gave me like a hit. This thing has happened. I'm like, cool. Let's go check that out. Stress Genie woes. Oh, no. Let's go check that out. And then when I go to the place I thought it would be, it wasn't there. And I was just like, so where am I supposed to go? And it just wouldn't tell me. Like, there's just very little indication where to go. And it honestly really tainted the experience for me. And again, it's all obviously all personal preference. If you like those kind of games, that's fine. Just couldn't hack it. It was just so... I hate being lost in games. Moderate was talking about it as well. I hate it. I hate being lost in games. It makes me want to just go play another game because I'm like, well, I'm just wasting my time here, aren't I? So yeah, it definitely was a big down point for me. Because obviously people will say about, oh, but it makes you feel more immersed, makes you feel like you have to discover things as long with the character and all that. And that's fine. I'm not saying like you're not allowed to enjoy that. I just can't hack it myself. I would say, oh, it's my lack of patience, but I'm quite patient when it comes to games. Heck, I've played through all the Dark Souls games, Elden Ring and everything. You have to be patient in those games with your combat, with the way that you go through the game, just with everything. So I like to feel like I'm relatively patient when it comes to these kind of games. Or when it comes to games in general, sorry. What do you guys think? Do you guys get frustrated when you get lost in a game? It's one of the major frustrations I have in a game, full stop, is getting lost. I think one of the ones that always gets me, and it used to happen a lot in like old horror games, and it'd be like, go get the professor's key. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go get the professor's key. And I will search around his office and like the building. For like, I can't think of a game that does this at the top of my head, but I've definitely had this happen to me. And I will search around the office for freaking like an hour. I'm like, where the heck is this key? And then I'll cave in and I go, I'm gonna look it up online. I'll go online and it'll be like, oh, it's in his jacket pocket. If you actually left click this part of the jacket, it unfolds and then you'll see the key get revealed. And I'm just like, how was I supposed to know that? It freaking drives me mental. Not quite what I'm looking for. We'll get rid of that part. But again, some people really like that because it feels like they're immersive. It feels like they're actually having to search for something. You definitely shouldn't play Broken Sword. It's like in the whole of Hollow Knights, I don't think I looked up a walkthrough once, right? I tried my best. I didn't look up a walkthrough, and I'm happy about it. I'm happy that I didn't have to look up a walkthrough. I'm not sure how I want this. Because like that doesn't look quite right. It definitely needs to sort of fold in to an extent. But I'm not sure how much. Because I need it to basically get an auto smooth on it as I do it as well. Something like that I think looks fine. Yeah, that looks good. Like when you get close, you might be like, oh, it doesn't look quite right. But from here, that definitely looks pretty good. There's still an engon over here. Let's resolve that engon. So a couple of ways I could do it. I could put an edge loop in here and like that. And that's probably the way I am going to do it because it will just be a bit better. Oh, nice. Martin. Martin coming in. Let's hear. In The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Oh, I want to play that. I have it acquired on my one of my devices that and I can plug it into my telly. I had a hard time in master mode with weapons breaking. Oh wait, Breath of the Wild. Sorry, I'm thinking of Wind Waker. I before finishing that, I kind of dropped Breath of the Wild. I don't know. It had like the same open end aspect as like Elden Ring, but I just kept feeling like it was just a big empty area. Now that is it was a very good game still, but maybe I was just looking in the wrong places. I remember taking ages trying to figure out how to get a horse because it didn't tell you how to do it. Let's read what else you're saying. Took me 2 hours to beat the final bosses that all my weapons broke. I was stressed out because of it. Oh, so you basically didn't... I know you can get, like, the Master Sword, right? Engon on the front side. Weapons breaking Breath of the Wild is why I stopped playing. I didn't mind. Weirdly enough, I didn't mind. How the heck did I just turn on my lap? Yeah, weirdly enough, I didn't mind the weapons breaking, because I was always just finding something else. I thought that was actually alright, because I felt like I was always just finding a replacement as I went along. Admittedly, I did sometimes autosave to regain a weapon if I wasted it on something, which is kind of cheating. See, I could do it on this side as well, but you don't see it. Maybe I should, though, just so... Because I want to say you can spin around the entire asset, right? I don't want to just leave out detailing. Like, if we spin around the asset now, it's got... You know, you can look around the entire thing. It's not lacking... Oh. I would say it's not lacking detail, but these don't even have materials in it. I'm just... like I said, my biggest gripe with games tends to come down to... Or these kind of games tends to come down to... getting lost. Getting lost in the game. And it comes... The biggest reason why is it comes down to what else could I be playing, right? If my time could be spent playing something more entertaining, why wouldn't I just go do that instead? And that's why, for me, it's so hard sometimes to stay on a game, because I have the option. Obviously, everyone has lots of people have the option, but in my head, I think, well, I have the option to go play something else, right? So I'm just like, well, let's just go play that instead. Like, that's a problem for me. Is that I can easily go play something else, especially when I've got so many games to play, or I can go watch a movie and stuff like that. I don't like to feel my time is wasted. Even I'm playing Black Desert Online at the moment, and so much of the game is grinding, but for some reason, I don't know what it is, it doesn't feel like a waste of time. Technically, I'm getting something at the end of the grind, but a lot of games you'll grind for a really long time. The payoff is so minuscule that it's just not worth it. Oh, that's a minuscule. Minute. I just said minute. That's a better word. I feel like that's a better word. Yeah, it's just like... I like it to feel like when I'm playing a game, I'm playing a game. I'm not... You know, it's similar when I'm playing a game and there's, like, collectathon. Like, you got to go through the game and you got to go find... 45? You're... 50. We want these parts to always be smooth as well. Oh, wow. It's going to be, like, 60 then. There you go. Perfect. Oh, wait, no. Oh, I just need to mark them as sharp. That's why. Some people really like that additional stuff. Not Maxine. Mark sharp. Some people really like the additional stuff of, like, having to go find things. Hello, sir. Big fan. Hey, Chuck. Bye? But hi? How's it going, man? Wait. Kutch. Did I say Chuck? Kutch. How's it going? I'm terrible at reading names. Don't worry, it's not you. Yeah, when I'm playing a game and a big part of it's like collecting resources, I get bored so quickly. I hate not collecting resources. Sorry, when a game's like, oh, you want to get the secret ending? Yeah. Okay, go and collect 50 acorns. Go and collect 500 acorns. And go on the front, Steve, on this side. Here. You don't think I know that? I'm still messing with the shape. I mean, if it makes you feel better. Voila. It actually won't matter having engons on this because I'm not putting it into ZBrush or anything. Substance Painter is actually fine. So this I'll keep smooth. I think that's fine. We're getting up to here where we lose smoothness. Oh, there's actually an engon there that I didn't pay attention to. But all I kind of need to do for that is this. What do I want to do? Something more like this. Probably. Wait. That's an engon. That doesn't resolve anything. Do that instead. A lot of people would tell me it's a waste, like adding this whole edge loop to do that. But when it comes to like the edge flow and just how it works, so here's not working well as well. Here's fine. Wait, almost fine. When it comes to edge flowing, especially when we're still modeling it, it's really nice to have these parts. No, it's good now. To like have the whole edge loop because it means I can edit it. See, I don't know. I don't want to add extra geometry here. I think, like, yeah, it might look a bit better, but I think the viewing's distance and stuff, you're just not going to care. Like, yeah, when you get to here, you might go, oh, that's a bit sharp. But you're viewing it from, like, here and stuff. I could actually bake this down. Like, take some of the shape and bake some of it down. I won't. I think I'm going to keep the entire shape. Here's interesting. See, that's very sharp in there now. If we, pull both of you out a little bit, we'll get less of a deformation on the normals. Still got a bit here. I wonder if I could just do this now. Oh my god. Delete edge loop. There you go. Cause that to be an engon. That should be fine. We should be able to do the same here. Cause some engons here. Can't really get rid of that because that causes an engon. So definitely something going on a bit funky here. I've got it a bit too deep, I think. Too deep. Pretty much what I want. I think there's just too much detailing here. Can I get rid of that? No, we lose a lot of detail if we do that. Because it gets to a sharp point, it's very awkward to make it look quite right. I mean, that's kind of what it looks like anyway. I'm not really... It's just this angle I really don't like. I mean, I could always mark sharp and have a sharp bit there, but it doesn't work how I want it. I want it to look smooth. Yeah, true. Overlapping G is not going to show. Surprised it looks so sharp. Is this part here, isn't it? This part is coming through sharp. And I think that's the issue. We want this part to be smooth. Smooth. Oh, there you go. Wait, hold on a minute. That doesn't auto smooth. It doesn't keep my smooth faces when I do that. Oh, it doesn't. Oh, that does help. Yeah, about there. That's roughly what we're looking for. Oh, but then we get this dark bit here. Which could be fixed by doing something like that, but that's a bit of a waste. I wish there was a mark smooth. There's not. You can only mark sharp. So you need to know everything you want to be sharp. I think that part annoys me. I think we're gonna say no to that and just go back to like 55 and keep fine. We'll keep it like that. We'll see how it looks when we bake it. I don't think you're gonna notice as much as I think you will, So it should be fine. We have no cuts. Oh, no, we do have a couple cuts coming from here. We're going to get a couple more in here on the opposite side, the side that we're not really going to see, but just to have the extra detailing there. Let's move it manually, go wild with it. I actually showed a friend this asset that I haven't talked to in a while, and they were really impressed by it. I was like, oh. I was like, it was a quite... Like, it's not like they didn't used to give me, like, minor compliments in the past, but I don't know. I was really nice having just, like, a compliment out of nowhere from a friend to buy it. It sounds really... I hate talking about stuff like this because it just sounds really big-headed of me. I got a compliment from a friend. But it was nice, you know. It's nice working on something because I keep looking at this. I'm like, man, it doesn't look like the concept. I feel like I'm not doing a good job. So like mine are like, oh yeah, this is looking good. It could go a long way. You know, I'm not going to clean up the engons. We're going to see how it imports. So I'm very curious, actually, how it will. It's fine. Pull it in a little bit more. Oops. Wait, why did that pull everything? Pull it in a little bit more and spread it out. Just a tad. Like, boom. 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 Looking good. Technically, I should have those bits coming in more, but that looks fine like that. Cool. I think that's all we need on that side. That side's the main interesting part. Now, when it comes to the high poly, what we're going to need to do is we're going to take this back part. That's not the high poly. Now, I'm worried, actually. Let's save first, because the high poly is very high poly, so I'm worried Blender's going to freeze. Like 2,000 faces. So I push tab. Let's wait and see. There we go. I just want to delete this part. Excuse me. There you go. Come on, go back into object mode. You got this. There we go. So now I kind of want to... Wait, why is this running slow? Oh, I was selecting both. Whoops. Just the low poly. There we go. I want to do this to separate selected. And I could actually subdivide this now and try to, like, make it more what I'm looking for. But I think it's fine. Like, the only way I could do this is, like, doing, like, extra bits here. But as soon as we do that, we're going to get some weird issues. I guess what I could do... So, if you subdivide something in Blender, you can then start creasing it. What creasing does, it will sharpen up that area. So, I could come around the parts that I basically marked sharpness. Aiming at the center. Let's do stuff like this. Same over here. That way when I bake it, we'll have a little bit extra detailing. This part should be fine. That looks pretty good like that. These parts I can sharpen up. Okay. Looking good, looking suave. I was in the car with my parents, like, oh, that is not looking good there. What did I do wrong there? Oh, because it's an engon. Oh. Well, it doesn't matter, because this is the high poly, so we can do what we want here to resolve that. Go back to that. There you go. Clearly want some more sharpness on there. Weirdly enough, you weren't having that issue. Then again, I've not got you too sharp either. You are having that issue. But again, it's the high poly, so we can go what we want. There you go. Cool, so this should give us some better results. I don't want to sharp stuff like this. I don't think I need to. This part here is definitely a bit odd. I think... I think I'm fine with that. That doesn't bother me. Kind of looks like you're getting like an overlap of the wood, which is kind of cool. I was thinking for the barrel, bring it into ZBrush, you could have just subdivided it crazy amount. Then you wouldn't have had to do it smooth. Yeah. Yeah. You're not wrong. What if I do like this? Not sure. Not sure. I mean, it'd have to be something like this, right? Yeah. Something more like that. You're already disconnected there. That's fine. See, this, I just don't think I've done it enough. The crease tool is very cool. Telling something how much you want it to subdivide. Because, like, usually when you subdivide something, I was even taught this in university, you'll do something like this and you'll go, oh, you'll subdivide it, right? And you're like, actually, I want this edge to be sharp. So you'll start just adding, like, geometry there to make it sharp. It's like, oh, I want the top to also be sharp, right? But with crease, now crease isn't too good for like this example, but I'll show you anyway. You can just do that instead. Actually, it works pretty well. I thought that wasn't going to give me a very good example, but it did. Right? It's a very, very strong tool, and it's very useful. I love using the crease tool. I only started using it recently. I knew it existed for a long time. People do that a lot. They come into chat and they're like, Steve, this tool, use this tool. It's like, I know the tool exists, guys, a lot of the time. Actually, I say a lot of the time, that's a huge lie. I don't know it exists a lot of the time, but there are some tools that are, like, really known in Blender, and it's really hard not to know about them. Some people come in chat and just assume because I'm not using them, I don't know about them. I'm like, no, I know about them. I just choose not to use them. Either because I've not practiced using them, so I'm just not too familiar. Which is a good reason. For anyone who might say, who might wonder if that's a good reason, that is a good reason. So we want to... oh. I should have... Yeah, there you go. And then combine. There you go. Cool. Weirdly enough, it moves the object mode fine. Cool. Now we got a slightly different higher poly. That should look a bit better. One more thing we need to do, and we can't neglect, is we need to fix the UVs. Max has a similar tool. I tend to just use edge loops, but I really should start using... Yeah, it's... Because the reason it's so good because there's, like, so little cleanup afterwards, right? When you... Because edge loops will give you the same effect, but then you'll look at your edge loop and there'll be, like, tons of, like, of all these edge loops that you didn't need when you smoothed it. Because... I'll show that again, actually. Good example. Right, so... do something like that. Make a duplicate. Smooth all that over. And then do the edge loop instead. So you can already tell there's loads of extra polygons it's added. I could always add that manually now if I want, right? Smooth. So what we'll do, actually... So I'll keep them both at subdivision 3, right? If we apply it to here, you'll see it's just not as bad as I thought. Oh, yeah, a good example. Say you'll see like an increase of polygons when it comes to the places you've tried to sharpen with edge loops. Whereas here, it'll keep it like universally the same. You can just look at the sizes of the cubes, and that's so useful. Because you can, if you want that extra detail, you can add it if you want, but it's just very, very nice to have that. Oh, I was going to say what's going on. Because then I could just subdivide it one more time if I want and get sort of similar looking effect. But this one's having all this extra detailing here. See, even though I subdivided that one more time, actually, 3,000, 2,000. It's only 1,000 more, but it's got more... It's got all the polygons more averaged out rather than condensed in an area, because it's hard to work with something like this, but this is still very easy to work with. Like if it's high poly, but I could still very easily grab stuff and move it, where here we've got such a dense amount, and the way it's like done, it's the way it's like connected, like you see like this edge loop comes into a sharp point, whereas here it does technically still do that sharp point, but it's back all the way over here, more cubic. It's really, really nice doing it that way. So it's both ways are fine. It's one of those cases that if you want to clean it up more the other way, well, if you want to clean it up more, if you don't mind doing some extra cleanup and you're more familiar with the other way, that's fine. But it's one of those cases where it comes down to got hair in it. It comes down to time management, right? Because there's a lot of things where people would be like, no, I like doing it this way, and that's fine. But it really depends on the time management asset. If your best software is freaking AutoCAD, actually no, let's say Google SketchUp, and let's say it takes you 5 times longer in there, but you prefer using that software, that's still 5 times longer. From a company's perspective, they want it done quicker, whether or not what you prefer. That's just, unfortunately, how it kind of works. Oh, wait, I still need to do the... And I like to say I can't really blame the company for that, right? If that's how the company works, it's how the company works. You kind of just got to deal with it. If you were paying somebody, right, you would prefer, as much as possible, that they do the job as quickly as they can. Because that's one thing I find very interesting working in the industry. I only work in an indie company, but I can't imagine the experience is going to be too far beyond my working conditions. And it's how much people want to blame the company for everything. Now, when I was in Lidl's, and it's a very, very interesting example, but when I was in Lidl's, which is a... What's happening here? Do I need those ones? I think I do. Hold on a minute. Wait, can I... Blender doesn't have the tool I'm thinking of, does it? I got my seams manually. I remember they used to have it so we could... So every job I've worked in, you can blame the employees for some things. Because it's one of those things that the more you give, the more people want to take, right? And it's unfortunate. People get really greedy. And it's not always the fault of the harder workers. Sometimes it's the fault of just a handful of people. But as they say, the few ruin it for the plenty. Or spoil it for the plenty. And it was like in Lidl's. We used to be able to take home... When I started working there, we weren't allowed to do this. But they used to be allowed to take home basically throwaway food. When I say that, it was mainly baked goods from what I remember. Every single day in Lidl's, which is a supermarket, we used to bring in some unbaked goods, bake them there, and then put them out on all the baked goods section. So I remember saying that to them when I was getting the job. They were like, yeah, we make it here. And I was like, you make all your, like, baked goods here? Yeah, we make it here. And then when I started working there, I was like, oh, you don't make it here. You just bake it here. You get them given to you all made up, and then you just throw it in the oven. I was like, right, that makes way more sense. So I was like, wow, you got to bring in chefs or bakers, shall I say, to work here. And the rule was that if there was things left over, by the end of the day, staff were allowed to take it home. Now, there was actually, I think, 2 cases where my manager low-key let us do this. But you weren't allowed to. This was like a new rule that they brought in that you weren't allowed to take it home. Banned. And the reason was because people were intentionally not putting out baked goods. They'd go and bake all these cinnamon buns and they'd purposely leave them out back. That way, at the end of the day, the staff could take home a whole tray of cinnamon buns and they weren't given to the customers. Now, you could be like, oh, but Lidl's... They should have still let them do that, you know. It just shows they wanted more staff, blah, 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 blah. But people forget that if you owned a company, how annoyed would that make you? Like, oh, guys, you know, I'm going to be nice. I'm going to say you can take home any of these baked goods. Little cinnamon buns are amazing. Yeah, I love both of them. They introduced another flavor. It was like, because you had like I think it was like a cream cheese glaze. It was like, that's the traditional one with cinnamon then in the bun. But then they also introduced a caramel glaze, and I don't know if it still had cinnamon in the bun. I can't remember. That was also really nice. I also really like that Yum Yums. But yeah, imagine owning a company, be like, guys, you get to take home... Oh yeah, Yum Yums are good too. You get to take home stuff that's left over. Have at it. Because at the end of the day, there was a decent amount left over. And then imagine your staff going, oh, we're going to just not put stuff out front to sell to customers. Now you're going to sit there when you paid for all those baked goods to be sold to the customers to get money back on them, and your staff members have taken the mick and have left them out back and taken them away for free. It's very easy to blame the company. It's very difficult to understand why a company is doing something. And I feel like, especially in the company I'm working at the moment, I feel like people need to really start realizing that. And I hate talking like this. It's like, oh, Steve's not for the people. He's for the big corporations. No, I'm for whoever is being hurt by whatever someone's doing. Or no, I'm not for that, should I say? You know what I mean. But when I worked at Game, what do people used to do there? Like, every single place I've worked, people took the mick. You know what? Corals was a really good example of the company being scumbags because of what employees did. It was like a bump-on effect. And it was... What's this one again? I think I just called it Last Bake. I gave it like a random name because I was testing things. I think that's correct. So save what we got so I don't break anything. Project settings. Nope. This is the bake settings. Yeah, anyways, Corals. I know you guys don't want to hear me talk about past work, but Corals. So Corals is a betting shop. For those of you who aren't familiar with betting shops, because it depends where you are in the world if you're allowed them, you just walk in, you write a little slip out to say, I'm betting on horse 8. I'm putting a $5 down for him to win. That's a really simple bet, just a single, I think that's called. £5 single on horse 12. Wait, 8, not 12, 8. Horse 8. Pop it in the till. You process that. And then depending on the odds, because sometimes if they bet on like a horse that's very unlikely to win, it might be 1 to 20. So now if they win, £5 times 5 times 20 because of £5, that's £100. You give them 100, then £5 back because you got to give back the actual bet as well. Horse is the likely winner, and that's a very simplified version of what a betting shop is. There's a lot more different bets, but we won't go over those because that's not what I'm trying to talk about. What I'm trying to talk about is what people used to do, and it was it before I started? I can't remember, but basically, sometimes I forget that an asset takes months to make. Oh, it does when I sit here and I chat the entire time. When I wasn't working full-time, I didn't used to chat as much, but I'm now not in a rush to make anything, so I like just chatting and having a good time. Before, I was making, like, asset kits. Yeah, and what people used to do was, we used to be able to, if we were closing at 10, we got paid till 10:30 and have half an hour to close up. What people were doing was they were purposely getting everything closed up by 10 and then going home at 10 and getting 30 minutes worth of free pay. Steve used to do a whole scene in that time. Those were the good times. But because people were doing that, they basically said, okay, you're only being paid for 5 minutes past your closing time. So if you were trying to be a normal... I live near a chorus. I've never gambled. Oh, really? So if you were trying to be a good employee, you would try to start closing up at 10. You cannot close up in 5 minutes. There is no way. So it basically just forced every person to start closing up at 9:30 to give them time to actually close up. Because you have 5 minutes somehow to close up all the machines, collect all the money, count all the money twice, because they tell you have to count it twice, store it all in the safe, make sure the safe's secure. You then have to take down all the newspapers, all the races that day. You have to scrap everything, put everything you need to in the bin. You have to organize everything. You have to set up all the security alarms. What else did you need to do? There was a bunch of other stuff tacked on top in 5 minutes. It was ridiculous. Like, I get why the company got annoyed and only gave you 5 minutes because people were taking the mick when it's 30 minutes. But Jesus, I remember leaving because I'm quite a... I won't work extra. Quite frankly. If you expect me to work extra, you are out of luck. I will straight up... Oh, do I need to get this as well? I don't think so. I will straight up just leave. They were trying to get me to work for free last week. Oh. Yeah, I was leaving at 5 minutes past without doing all my jobs. Like, there'd be newspapers left up on the walls. And when people had to go at me, I'd go, if they gave me more time, it'd be done. I was like, people were still in the shop at 1 minute to 10. What do you want me to do? Somehow close up and get everything sorted in 6 minutes? That's impossible. Like, nah. I'm not letting you get away with that. You're not making me work extra time, especially at a job I hate. The job I'm doing at the moment, I'll sometimes put an extra 30 minutes after work because I want to get something finished, and I don't mind not being paid for it because I enjoy the work I'm doing. Yeah, well, that was one good thing about Lidl's. If Lidl's made you stay an extra 20 minutes, you were paid for it. Because Game, for those of you who don't know what Game is, it's basically like GameStop in America, just a store where you buy games. That was awful, because at the end of every day, they wanted you to do all your figures. Well, that means just type, I don't know why the system didn't do it automatically, but basically, you had to go through the list of all the sales you made that day, because it was all recorded, and you had to put in all the ones that were sign-up cards. You had to put the ones that were consoles, or the ones that were things. You had to basically separate them out specifically into a database. And it could take you, depending on how much you was on the tills that day, it could take you from anywhere from 2 minutes, because you barely had any sales, to 15 minutes. But it'd make you do it when your shift was ended. Like, you finish at 5 o'clock, and they make you do it. See, you could sometimes be there till 5:15, and they wouldn't pay you for those 15 minutes, because there was no clocking in and out system. You were just paid to when they said you should be in by. So I stopped doing it. If they were like, Steve, you got to go there, I was like, no, it's 5 o'clock, mate. I'm going home. Doesn't matter. The company doesn't care. They're expecting you to get labor, lawyer, and fight it. Yeah, right. Well, it's what people. I think something you can tell when people haven't worked in like retail jobs or crappy jobs, because sometimes people are like, they're not allowed to do that. Okay, what's stopping them from doing it? Oh, a company can't reduce your hours just because they don't like you. Okay, why not? Most jobs in something like retail will give you an 8-hour contract. They will then make you work 20 to 40 hours a week. But if they want to cut your hours for punishment, they can reduce you down to 8 hours and just say, oh, we needed to cut hours. Like, if you want to get a lawyer and try to fight it, what proof have you got? Unless you've got text from them saying, we're reducing your hours because we don't like you, you've got no ground to stand on. People, I see this all the time right on like Imgur and Reddit and stuff like that. Oh, the company can't do that. You're lying. Ah, good one. Good one. Very funny. Hold on a minute, it's just this, isn't it? Cannon top. I got so many different parts here. Cannon top with some skull. Cannon top wooden parts. Cannon wood top LP. I think that's what I'm looking for. Proof or not, if you're a lawyer after you get your tiny settlement, then you burn that industry for the rest of life. It's just like, it's sad when I... Oh, wait, hold on a minute. Oh, no, I got to input the whole thing. What am I doing? I did the whole thing. I've made it so difficult for myself, but it works. But if I can find it... That one. But yeah, companies are horrible. It's very hard to fight a company unless you literally have written proof of the things they've done. I had a friend who, he got moved to a store full of, unfortunately, very racist people. He was Indian. He was a really nice bloke. His name was Raman. He was a really good dancer. And that's a really random fact about him. He was a fantastic dancer. But he moved there, and yes, they were not very friendly to different people. So what they did was they told him, oh, we're putting you in this other store. Something that was like a 4-hour drive away or something. They put him like a ridiculous distance away, and he couldn't do anything about it. He could not do anything about it. He just quit the job because he's not going to work somewhere 4 hours away. Like, they just chucked him out. It's horrible. And what can you do unless you've got some written evidence stuff? They could just go, oh, we were overstaffed in that store. We couldn't do it. We didn't know he didn't live close to it. There's no details of his address in our system right now. You know, it's very easy to make up some lies. Hold on a minute. Where's all my assets in here? Oh, right, because I did a custom normal map. Oh, I got to redo it then. So I need to go like this. And we need to go... Well, last bake is what I called it, right? And then I need to... I'll do 2K for now to make sure it works. Looks good. Oh, okay. That didn't work. That's got like the high poly from the other one still in there. Why has it done that? This. Yeah. Export. Last bake. Oh, use low poly, that'd be why. Bake. These scratches are going to disappear as a high poly, because I basically need to export the normal map and re-import it in. I could pay for what I worked. If they asked me to do extra, I didn't feel like it. I would just go home. If I was past my driving hours, I would just go home. I would just go home, job finished, or no. Yeah, pretty much that's what I was like. The problem is... Oh, did I freaking just bake everything? Oh, bum. I can't bake everything because it ruins the other parts because I don't have it combined. So let's redo that. It's really finicky how I've made this asset, and I probably could have done it way better, but it's working, so I don't want to ruin a good thing. I don't want to tempt fate. Weirdly enough, this asset in general takes a really long time to load. It's not hugely... Like, there's nothing with this asset that should be making it take a long time. This model looks spectacular, thank you. You're playing a dangerous game, Steve. One of these days, I expect you to just go, and it's gone. True, that'd be quite funny. That looks cool. I actually kind of like that, but it's not what I want it to look like, so. I don't know. I like the fact that it's like got this dark bit to it. It looks kind of like there's rubber on the top or something, but that's just because the normals are messed up. It's not a very good thing to keep. Let's go like this. Let's go. Last bake. We only want to bake, not the base, that's the problem. We only want to bake the cannon wood. That should be this part, yes. I need to combine these maps together afterwards as well. Well, some of them. I'm making the small skull and the big skull and the base all different textures, but the big skull could be like a 512. The small skull could probably be a 256. The proper cannon itself will be like a 2K and the base would be like a 1 or 2K. So it'll be like... It'll basically be a 2K asset with some extra detailing on it. But I can always bump it up to 4K to go, ooh, look, that's pretty. And just give it some extra detailing. So I'm going to do this. We want to go this. Oh, did that do it? Wait, was that the right one? That was not the right one. This. And we'll bake a 2K, then we'll bake a 4K. I tend to say bake one texture level up on what you're trying to do. So if you want it to be produced as a 2K, bake it a 4K. If we're trying to produce it as a 512, bake it a 1024. Because all that detailing, when it's reduced down in your maps down here, just looks better. It picks up more information. And that's the big part, actually. It just picks up more information. If you've got scratches something at lower bake, it might not pick up that scratch. But in the 2K, it will pick up that scratch, even if you reduce it then to a 1K afterwards. Pro tip. That should work now. So that looks good. It's got all the edges. I just need to make sure this is getting all of its... It looks like it from here. So yes, that's got all of its detail over here. That looks much more accurate. Oh, much more accurate to what we're going. Yeah, that looks way better. Because the problem... And maybe it's because it was too small so you couldn't see the normals, but you couldn't see any of the detailing. Now we can really see the detailing. Very, very nice. I want to over-exaggerate some of these light parts. I know it's coming from the lighting. Hey there, buddy. Hey there, tech guy. How's it going? We got this issue here, though. And I don't know what's causing that. Oh, wow. It looks very low res. Jesus. See, I could always separate this out and make this 2K, like all the wooden parts, and make the base 2K, and we just have two 2K textures. Because the reason that looks so low res is because it is. It's quite a big asset, so look how much space all that wood takes up. It's not a huge area, but if we combine the two together, we are using that space quite efficiently. It's just a very large asset for even a 2K texture. So I can always just say screw it and we make it 4K. But I don't know why this is happening here. Because if you look at the meshes, that part barely changed. Like, look. The only thing I can think of is reduce some of the baking options and we see what we get. So we come into here and turn this down to like a 0.005 instead, and we see what that does. Going, well, you are good at this stylized modeling. Thank you. See, that seems to be worse. Maybe I need to turn it up then. We'll go like 0.02. I think that looks better. Well, obviously, see, it still looks janky, but I think it looks better. No, not really. We're getting this issue here as well. Obviously, when you zoom in stuff, you're going to find issues, but we're getting this issue too, where I think that's trying to bake this normal onto here, and I don't know why, because the shell should be... I've made the shell bigger here, just by doing that, but it shouldn't be so big that it causes that issue. Look, we reduce that issue by doing that. So if I reduce that issue, if I reduce this to like a really low setting, what do we get? So that definitely fixes that issue, but I bet the scratches aren't going to be picked up as much. I guess what I need to do, because I'm too lazy to ever remember which one does what. Oh, you know what? That's still... Oh, that fixed a lot of this issue, actually. Heck yeah. So we've got this showing in over here. Oh, it's kind of not baked it properly, though. So what I should do is learn which one does what. So I think we're going rear distance. We can turn up to like a 1. Right? And that should get us our... no, not quite. I think it's fixed some areas, though. Yeah, it looks like it's fixed a little bit in there. That's clean now. That's nice. Again, you're going to be viewing the asset from over here, so I'm getting this close, but this is not the distance you're supposed to be viewing it at, which is why it looks low quality. I guess I'll turn this up to maybe a 4. That has resolved that, but we're getting those issues here peeking through, you can see. This is why you'll sometimes end up with a lot of things in separate meshes. I'd rather have this issue fixed here and have it looking a bit janky here, though. I mean, maybe we can increase that. Excuse me. And reduce that. Oh, no, not reduce that to 0. Jesus. And reduce that. See what we get. That looks the closest to being fixed. We've still got a tiny bit of problem, but it's very minor now. Yeah. Oh, it's like coming out black, though. Man. Making those areas come out black. That's the closest I think I'm happy with, though, because we're not... Having this part being fixed looks way better. Again, we can make it 4K, but... we do want to bake this at 4K, though, so we'll redo that. Looks good, ship it. Thank you. I think that's definitely closest to what we're probably going to get in what we're going to like, right? But again, this is why you'll get some people separate everything out into separate high polys, and it takes just a long time to do, so it's just like... I could adjust the model to fit more firmly, like the low poly. Just go back and alter the low poly slightly if it's bothering you that much. Oh, yeah, see? Pretty much what I was just about to say. Yeah, I could. It's only this part, though. Everything else looks fine now. Just that part. Whoops. And all like... Damn, that's a big scratch. What the heck? I don't remember putting that scratch in. Oh, my God, get me away. That looks like that was accidental. I don't mind it there. Oh, no, it's just not baking it right now. Ah, so we're getting problems on other parts of the mesh now. Interesting. Because, yeah, that's not reflecting that at all anymore. So what's causing that then? Is that this one? That back up to 1. It's going to ruin those other parts, but I just want to see what it looks like. Yeah, that seems good now. Maybe I should have separated those parts out then. I can still do that. But the problem is you can't select the cage for each individual high poly part. So I don't think it'd resolve anything. Yeah, so that part's resolved now, but I bet we got, yeah, this part here again. I mean, it's a very minor issue here. It's very hard. Should have used now, bro. Used what? These scratches are now not dropping any shadows because I need to bake them out separately, but they're fine for now. It's fine for now. I'm not too worried about that. What I want to do is get some of these really big lighting differences in. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to come into here. This is it, right? Yeah. Come into here. And we're just going to... Big strokes. Big strokes. Where's my pen? Just to get some of that color variation we're looking for. And again, this color variation is technically happening due to the lighting. But the lighting in a concept art is very different. You can match high poly to low poly mesh material and bake per piece. Wait, can you? But it comes up like this. There's like no settings to bake per piece. You can do a cage file, which will probably help. Hold on a minute. Oh no, that's fine. Oh yeah, I need to do some scratches up here too. I'll do them in a bit. What we're gonna do here now. I can always fix some of these things later anyway. You have to apply separate. Oh, right. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing anyway. Just not to the smaller degree, because then I got to combine them afterwards in one texture. Well, if I wanted to share one texture. So if you actually look at what I'm doing right now, you'll see like the cannon wood and the cannon. And it applies it. I do have separate materials assigned to them, which does separate the textures. But I'm planning afterwards then to combine it together, which means I could technically do what you're saying and just have it so I'm using like 5 or 6 different materials, and then I could just combine all those maps, because it's not too hard to do it in Photoshop afterwards. You just basically put them on top of each other and then take out the parts that it works like an opacity. I'm pretty sure when you do it, it will just take... Oh yeah, because you can export your textures with an opacity back to areas that aren't being done, so you just layer them on top of each other, then bake them, export them out in Photoshop. So it works fine. I'm just being lazy and I don't want to do that. Because it's one of those things where I'm like, do I mind enough? Are you going to get this close on if I put it on my portfolio, right? Like, it's like, Wait, let me get a bit of a better show here. So it sort of starts here, and then it comes over here, and then it goes like this. And then that part, get that a bit more straight. Well, so how's it going? Fame Arts. That's how you say your name. I was going to say your name was like one word then. I was like, no. I assume you are artist from what you know, from what you're recommending solutions-wise. Because usually I ask people, are they artist or programmer? Because weirdly enough, we get a lot of programmers join the chat. And they're always super happy to be here, which is awesome. Or you could just explode the mesh, bake it all. Yeah, I hate doing explosion baking though. I don't know if that's a term for it, just some randomly saying. I like texturing it all together. It just feels nice. And this is, at the end of the day, a piece meant for just enjoyment, you know. I'm not... Actually, it comes all the way down to here. I'm not... I work full time, so this is like just my fun art. So I'm kind of like, do I want to go through the effort to do that? It's more fun to do it like this. I guess it's the same way as if you're painting something in real life, right? If you've got like a model, right? You usually take it all apart and you paint it separately, then you stick it together at the end. But it's so much more fun to just paint it when it's together. I think that's the thing, isn't it? If you're doing it for like a personal project, it's like, oh, but what's fun and what's not? Well, you can tell this is kind of low poly back here, but it's fine. Low poly, low texture res. Maybe on my ArtStation I'll render it as a 4K, just to really show it off. And then I'll have a 2K rendering as well, just to show what it'll actually look like. Because I do like showing what it'll actually look like in a game sense. This is a very big asset, so this will be a centerpiece in a scene. So what I want to do here is I just want to neaten this part up here. It's not quite straight. Oh, bugger. This one? Which one did I just click off of? This one. Not quite straight, so we'll just do something like this. Yeah, that looks fine. It's covering those. We've got dark areas. I just got to pull them underneath where the dark areas happen. So that way we're not... Yeah, that's fine. I actually probably can go lower than that. I've got a lot of layering on this. That made it way brighter. Jesus. We want to overlay that. Probably. I'll see how we feel when we're doing it. And I want to exaggerate the highlights here, right? I want to pop this up to maybe here. We need it to actually be a bit more yellow, I think. Yeah, that's pretty good. Then what I want to do is I want to do it. We'll just do a duplicate and we'll black mask it because what I want to do, similar to what that looked like, but I want to thin a piece. We'll do this and we'll want to thin a piece. Where's it start? Oh yeah, it's about here. Again, I know that this is basically this should be done in your lighting. The problem is it's a concept, so it's very hard to replicate this folly in your actual lighting. Got to strike the balance right. Ultimately, we're splitting hairs. It looks stable. Oh, thank you. I was actually I was watching. I can't remember who it was a while ago. I was watching someone talk about this. There again, we want this one to not add any color. I don't think we want this one to go white. No, actually, I think we want it to be a bit more red. Yeah, something like that. And then we want to slightly reduce that. Maybe slightly put this to like 80. That way we get, yeah, perfect. That way we get like this highlight over here, but it actually being like a highlight. Hey Steve, can you teach how to use bake stylized filter properly? Which part? Like doing the texturing or getting a post-processing effect in Unreal Engine? Because there's it's very different. So we want to repeat these processes over here, right? Because Jesus Christ, because I got these layering texture. Wait, so hey Steve, can you teach how to use bake stylized? So, okay, I think I will. I'm trying to think of an example. I'll quickly go through the process of what I do. Because again, we are here to make assets, but I am also here to teach you guys actually how to do things. So let's say we're starting. Let's say we just want to. Let's just do a plane for making it easy, right? So when I do textures, there's a lot of different ways I do my textures when it comes to being in ZBrush. So when I'm actually in here, I'll make my shape very simple, as you saw for my cannon. If you look at my cannon, there are some ignoring that. Ignoring the high poly, there are some detailing on it, like the back here, because I thought it would look better, but mostly it's flat, because when you get to the actual baking area, it's the same with here, you'll bake in a lot of those details, right? And it will look like what you need it to look like. Now, go back to the plane. So let's start with something flat, and let's just go, I like to make things, it's controversial, actually, but I like to make things closer to what I need them to be in ZBrush, right? When I actually start doing high poly. Now you can reduce this later, but let's say we want it like this. This isn't too big of an issue because it's just a plane. I could just subdivide it in ZBrush. It doesn't make too much of a deal. But if I had like lots of shapes, so let's go back to my Canon. If I had lots of shapes, I would try to make it so they all share a very similar poly count density, right? So I've got bad examples here where these are quite long and stuff. I should have, like, I try to make them kind of squarish, but that's only for the high poly, and then I'll start optimizing it again later. The reason I do that is because when you go into ZBrush and you start messing with the high poly, if you've got some parts denser than others, they're going to have way higher poly count in ZBrush. Now, I know you can just dynamesh it, remesh it, lots of different options, but I like to use the low poly I get from ZBrush to save time. So I will then export that back out and then pop it back in here. The reason I do that is because the low poly will start being moved with how you're texturing it in ZBrush. So that way you can still reuse that to represent your high poly. And then you can start optimizing that afterwards. I have a video showing the whole thing, but I'll go through it simple here. So let's just use a plane, right? Let's go like here. I've added some extra detailing that I probably didn't need, but desktop, and we'll just call it wood plane. Right? Let's go back. Let's go into ZBrush. We've not been in ZBrush today. Let's move my candle so I don't burn myself reaching over it. I've got a, what flavor is it? Or scent is it, should I say? I'm not going to eat it. Cherry Bakewell. It does really smell like cherry Bakewell. Boom, boom, boom. So, I will do some stuff by hand. I'm getting better at doing stuff by hand, but mostly, when it comes to texturing, I get most of my detailing using a high poly bake. There are some quick effects you can do, and I'll show you them in a bit. The temptation, what to just eat the cherry Bakewell candle. You know what? I'm such a freaking monkey brain, or like Neanderthal, caveman like fire. I literally, I shouldn't say this, but I got some tissue and I set it on fire. I don't know why. Oh no, actually, I didn't do it with the candle. Or did I? No, I didn't. I did it with this doohickey. I think turning it on might cause static in the mic, but it's an electric lighter, and he put a little bit of the some tissue on it, and it set on light. And I didn't somehow anticipate what I was going to do after setting this on light, and in my hand was a very quick burning piece of tissue. Go, whew. I was like, and I had my blanket wrapped around me, and I just like dabbed out with my blanket, and it actually burned. So I've got like a Sherpa, I think that's what's called, a Sherpa blanket. It's really, really nice. But there's a part of it now that I have to basically shave. I used some scissors because I burnt it. And I don't know why. I was just like, monkey brain. All right, let's import this. So again, my texturing comes a lot. Well, when I got good texturing, should I say, my science teacher did something like that. Nice. I'm glad I'm on the same par as someone who actually studies science. Desktop, plane, wood plane. What do I call it? Wood plane or plain wood? Wood plane. Okay. Yes. Make polymesh. Oh, there he is. All right. So I have different processes to how I will do something. So first of all, I'll start dividing it. Now, if I realize it has an edge to it, I'll usually turn off SMT because it will pull that edge in, and I don't want it to do that. So I'll just subdivide it like this, and let's get to a decent size, 500,000, that's fine. So we've got this nice smoothness. Now, when I'm making a physical mesh, it'll be the same sort of thing, but like when I'm doing wood, I'm using, so you don't need to use orb for this one, but it's good to use. I'm using the orb pack for a lot of stuff here. So now what I do is I basically just go from top to bottom, not going too fast because you'll lose some of that detailing. And we'll just go like this. And you can actually hold Alt and do some that cut in as well, but I actually don't like doing that often. And I'll just go top to bottom, different intensities just by pressing harder and softer. And let's go over some other areas. Yes, it doesn't look like wood yet, but that's fine. So there's actually a process I saw in somebody's video. That's how he did it. So it's not even mine, but I can't remember who did it. But I was like, oh, I like the idea of that. Then I'll go to this flatten tool, right? Sometimes make it bigger depending on what we're looking for. Nah, it's too big. Up the intensity. And then we'll start flatten areas, right? So if it's a physical mesh, you start coming up the top like this and getting like these bumpy bits. But we're only on a plate, so it's a bit harder to do that. I can kind of try. Cool. And you'll end up with something like this. And you can basically keep repeating that process till you get something you want. And then what I'll do is I'll just go into cracks 2, cracks 1. Turn down that, turn down this, and up this. Turn down sensitivity, turn down size. And I usually just go and start looking at the areas I like. So first of all, also turn this off, go to a different one. And I start looking at areas that I thought did add detail, and I'll start adding to those. Turn it just a bit more. And like here, we got all of this, but I can, I don't need to do too much of that. Here, we've got some things. Let's do something like this. And I'll just start adding some wood grain. Now, there's actually a stepping effect right now. Is that coming from here? And I'll just start adding these, like, detailing in here. Going with, like, this sort of wood base we've made. I actually did them too fast. You can see, like, these bumpy lines. That just means I went too fast with my pen. So we've got one that was generated here. We're just picking that up. That. And I start just working at it until I have something that represents wood. And you could do like little line in, out, line in, out. Stuff like that. You could do like little... Oh, doesn't do it with a lazy mouse. Turn it down a little bit. Little bits like that. Usually you'll get like decent amounts at the top. Not the intensity. And yeah, basically keep working at. I see this Polygon Academy, I think. I see this on... Oh, really? Oh, I don't even know where I saw it. Yeah, and basically just keep working at it till you get enough details. And this isn't even the magic yet, right? Like, you guys probably look at it as like, this isn't good. This isn't what your models look like. Your models look better than this. What secrets are you hiding? So we can let's actually subdivide it one more time. I think that's the problem here. Oh, 10 million's too much. That's fine. Because a lot of the work actually will come from using Substance, believe it or not. So again, we've got some of these details here that we can put in. Now, I should really thicken out the back and smooth some of these areas out because they look a bit bumpy, but that's fine. That's basically like a wood, right? It's not too past the imagination of being wood. If I do want stronger normals, I can pull these parts in using just some clay, something like that. Really separate them out. Anyways, so this all comes down to your personal preference. If you actually look at some of the other bits you got with all brush, I did not mean to do that, skip. You've got some cool little tools in here. So if we're like, oh, we want some scratches on it, put some of those in. You know, and we've got something like wood, right? Now, this isn't where, again, as I said, the magic comes in. The magic comes in. Wood, plane, high poly. This isn't going to work now. That'd be hilarious if I've just done this. It doesn't work. OBJ. I think OBJ at the very least stays on the same spot. For some reason, it gets weird in Blender. Let's open up another one of these. Now, again, I have tutorials on this, basically entire process. So we go new, select wooden plane. Yes, yes. Yes, queen. Oh, what? Why is it on the wrong side? Where did it go? Oh, it's not on the wrong side. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Ready. There you go. It tricked me. It was hiding from me. Just do 4K, why not? Go back to desktop. Wooden, high poly, bake. Please work. I know that the exports are being weird lately. Oh, it's trying to work. Hold on a minute. 1.1. Aha! That looks awesome. Kill, getting your ambient occlusion, getting your curvature, sweetness, position. I don't even know what it does. Don't really know what thickness does. I assume it's used in some sort of way. And boom, we have that now transferred onto a mesh, right? Oh, that looks neat. Not quite what I'm looking for, though. Now you apply a special material. Now I'll show you how to make the material as well. So if we go, one of my stylized woods. Yeah. Oh my god. That's closer. That's a bit closer too. Oh, is it? Is it doing anything? Oh my lord. We'll use one of these and we'll just... Actually, I'll just make one. So, usually you'll get a folder because you'll separate things out. Technically, we don't need one, so I won't use a folder. You'll make a layer and then you'll go, okay, what do we want our base wood to be? Something like this. Turn down the roughness. And I'm terrible at getting a good wood color. I always have been. Let's grab... Oh, wow. That's what that wood looks like on this guy's project. Let's grab this. Sure. I think it needs to be a little bit darker because we want to do highlights in it, right? And then you do black mask. So create your layer. Right-click it. Black mask. Right-click the black mask. Go add generator. And then go curvature. Now, this will start picking up all your edges, right? So you get this to where you want it to be. Do something like that. And then let's do multiply overlay. We don't want any of these things because we just want it to be affecting that base color, right? And we get something like that. Then we can usually tone it down depending on what we're actually looking for. And we've already now started to generate our some of our texture, right? And then we want to go like this, and we want to redo this on an ambient occlusion. Invert it and try to get it to pick up all those parts that are interior. Now, the problem is because it's a plane, it's not picking up some of these edges, which is a shame. But again, turn all these off. I think I want to sharpen it up a little bit. That's annoying. It's because it thinks the light needs to still pass through here, so we're not quite getting what I'm looking for, but we're close. We do something like that, and then we set it to a multiply. Now, when actually doing these colors, you don't need to set it to overlay and multiply if you actually want it to change a little bit in color. So if you've got like something like Word, what you'll usually do is if you want to multiply something, so let's say it's blue, you'll go down a little bit in hue, right? So this is more like around here, so I'll go more into the red, and then we dye it a little bit of red as we change that color. Same with your highlights. You want to find where the base was, which is around here, and you want to turn it up just a little bit and apply a little bit of that. That should give you a nicer sort of effect on it. So instead of just going white and adjust that color, it's slightly applying some color to it, which will give your highlights just a little bit more pop. Can you remove the image at the top so I can see better? Oh, sure, yeah. I could probably remove that image entirely now, right? Because I'm coming to the end stages of it. I just like it there so people know I'm copying someone else's work. This one? This one. Cool, there we go. So you added those layers, right? And you've added curvature, as you saw on the right, ambient occlusion here. And you can still adjust that. You're not like beyond adjusting it now. And then basically, you can draw someone manually, but basically you just want to keep repeating these processes. Like if I go like this, and yeah, I like that. Now I want it to be a bit more blurred out. Oh, no. Not blurred. I want it to take up a bit more space like this. Less contrast, give it some overall color. and tone that down so we're getting a bit more color coming from it now. I don't want to come into this one. Now, I didn't make the material as good as I could have, which is why you're not seeing like the best quality here. Something like that. Like this. Tone that down. Tone that one down a little bit. As you can see, now we're getting a bit more wood. And yeah, there you go. And that's like basically the process you'll be building up. Now, when you're also doing... so I have a different process when it comes to metals, for example. So if I'm go back to ZBrush, and we reset all of that, right? So the way I usually do metals, now this depends. If you're copying someone else's work, like I'm doing concept art and I'm trying to replicate his, I didn't quite do some of the stuff I showed for wood because I had to make it look like his wood, and his wood was very like straight cut. Like I didn't do the layer of build up, right? All I did was I went onto it. Oh, I haven't subdivided it. Yes. I went onto it and I went, okay, so he's just got these really strong lines where they just basically go like this, and they're as straight as possible. So it will depend on what you're trying to mimic, but basically you just got to kind of think to yourself, how would he have drawn it? And then you got to replicate that into your ZBrush. And he basically just did that, and then I added like these really thin ones. Really thin ones, Jesus. Really thin ones. I can't even see them. Is it not high enough poly? Really? I don't think it's high enough poly to pick up that being that thin. It's whatever. Yeah. Anyways, now I want to show you just quickly how I tend to do metal. And again, I'm pretty sure I saw somebody else do this. Oh, really? Because I divided it. There you go. Right, so let's subdivide that one. Oh. Why won't it let me undo? But no, plain, whatever. I'll just do what I was doing. Divide. Oh, see, the problem is because I was doing that divide. Yeah, see what happens when you go too fast? It's got like a stepping. So you got to be careful about going too speedy. Now I don't know if that's because I turned off lazy step. Is it in here? I'm pretty sure it does have a step in the brush, but I can't remember where it is. No, I can't remember where it is. Anyways, so when I'm doing metal, what I'll do is I'll get a normal brush, I'll get the color spray, then I'll usually... So you have actually tools for this in the old brush, right? You've got like... Where is it? I swear he has one in here. Rock, orb, slash, clean, polish, hammer. So he actually has like kind of this. You can invert it as well if you want to do like a scaly thing. And you can just take that and work with that, right? Wow, that is much more stronger than I thought it was going to be. Because I'm usually working on an asset face, it's a bit harder to do that. So I will tend to do something like that. Oh, too much. Something like this. Scale. Yes. Something like that. And then I'll usually get this brush and I'll start flattening out some of those areas. So you can't see it too much here, but if I turn that on, you'll see it a bit better. Start flattening out. Flattening out? What the heck does that mean? Start flattening out some of these areas, and it gives you a bit more detailing to your flat metals, because it will give them sort of the effect that they've been a bit more beaten to shape. Hammered, yeah, exactly. Like I was on the weekend. Yeah. But tons of different ways to do things. When you're doing rocks, it's a similar way to do it. Like, oh yeah, that's fine. Like if you've got like a big shape, whatever, and you're doing rocks, you can use the actual flatten in your brush as well. You can start flattening some shapes out to maybe form. It's really hard because it's a flat surface, so it's not quite working the way I wanted it to, because it's not quite a rock shape. But yeah, if I turn the intensity up really high, let's fill in those areas. Hey, from India. Hey, Matt, how's it going? I hope you can understand what I'm saying, because hot damn, I can't speak a second language myself. Yeah, and rock formations tend to be like this, and when you get this detailing on, right, you'll usually then start, you can then actually take this brush, turn it down, and go some of these edges and start roughening them up as well. Give it more, like, less sharp edges, and that will give you kind of a nice rock formation feel. So any of these sharp areas, do that. And then on top of that, you can then start going into the slashes he's got and start going like this. Getting these nice little details on here to make it look like rock. So that on it. Put some of these over here. And yeah, and you're just working with it till you get what you want. And I just have different processes, as you could see, for making different things. Night, 10 p.m. Wow. Dang, that's the time there. So you guys are like... It's 4:30 here, so I assume you're rounding down. So it's 6 hours ahead. Yeah, p.m., not a.m. All right, so yeah, that was obviously a very quick example. Usually then what you'll do with this, you'll do some extra stepping. For a lot of assets, you'll make it, well, I say for a lot. For some assets, you will go and do something like a positional mask, and you'll make the top get lighter. Right. Easy to do much. And again, you can apply the yellowing effect if you want, to try to make it, give it a bit more color. You're going to do another one of those. You'll invert it. Sorry, here. Invert it. This, and you set some multiply. And you turn that dark. And you can, again, apply that red if you want. And then you can adjust that to where you want. Turn that up like this. And that works on a lot of assets to give them a bit more depth in the scene. As you can see, just sort of makes it look like they're more situated. For certain assets, you can just manually do some things. For example, if I want the edges to be lighter and the center to be darker, or vice versa, I can instead, so it would make more sense if the center was lighter. So instead, we could just manually go boop, 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 boop. We can then come into here. I like manually doing it as well instead of using generator sometimes, because you will get like a more hand-painted effect. Blur those in. Black mask this. Grab the center. Do a nice either circle or square. Get coming around. Blur that out. Turn that up a little bit, I'd say. Ooh, we'll do a big one for this. 200. We'll make it more square. I think that makes more sense. Like so. That's some of the edges. We'll make those a bit bigger from the edge to fade in. Like this, and then we'll go like this in the center. Fade those out, and we'll tone that down. And boom, you've got like another type of way of shading it. I like your tutorials. Is it ZBrush? Some of it is. I was just in ZBrush earlier. So yes, some is ZBrush. A lot is Substance Painter, which is what I'm in now. But yeah, there's a lot of different ways to texture stuff. And when you're looking at concept, like I said, it's dependent on how their concept looks at the end of the day. If you want your stuff to look like their concept, you've got to usually try to follow what you think they would have done with doing their like actual drawings. They'll do a similar thing, right? When they do a dent in something, they will have drawn it. Well, it depends if they're doing surface detail or silhouetting. Silhouetting? That's not a word, but you know what I mean. If they're doing surface detailing, he would have gone here and gone click, press hard, press soft, and then he'll detail around it to make it look like it's sharp. Whereas when he does like the silhouettes, he'll just draw around that, right? So that comes, you know, you need to mix that up with your modeling versus your texturing. Close that. Come back into here. And we're back into here where we're doing 2 layering effect of highlights. Which, again, when it comes to highlighting, you can manually do this, or you can try to let your lighting do this. When we actually look at old scenes I've done, I wish... Do you teach on an online class? I do not, unfortunately. I do not have an online class. I don't actually think I'm good enough to really teach people. I just give you guys tips to help you on your way rather than teach from scratch. I do have YouTube videos, though. So if you go to my YouTube channel, you might find stuff that will help you. Oh, you know what? This is a really... I want to load that back up, right? So there's also another way you can make your stuff... Did I just load up Designer? No, I didn't. There's another way you can make your stuff work, right? So if you don't want to use ZBrush, if you can find a nice material, or at least a nice material that has normals on it, you can turn that into what we basically just made, right? So if we go File... Can I recover? It'd be really nice if I could just recover what I had. Bugger. Oh, well. I really want to recover it. It saves it... Oh, I didn't save it anywhere, did I? One of the first times I just want to... I always close things I make because I'm just showing them as an example. Like, why would I want to keep a plane with some textures on it, right? Yeah, look, Substance has taken ages recently. You'd think I had it on a hard drive, but this isn't just an SSD. This is an M.2. This is an NVMe. So you think, so it can't be to do with the hard drive. At least you wouldn't think so. So where is it? There it is. So what you can also do, if you find a very nice material, right? So let's go. I have a material. It's called Sumo for some reason. Don't question why. Oh, look, it triangulated that one. So this is kind of a nice wood, but it's not got the effect I want when I make a lot of my stylize, right? So if we grab something like this, that looks pretty good, right? Now, I like the normals, but I don't like... So if we come into here... Oh, wait. Come into here, 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 right? I like the normals, but I don't like the colors. So what you can do is if you try to start making your mask now... Okay, I like you so much. Thank you, man. So if you come into here, and now, you know like how we were doing all that... So let's do our base color again. Why am I crazy? Oh, I've black masked it. Oh, yeah, of course I just did. Let's get base color. And again, I'm terrible at finding a good base color, but we'll try my best. We'll try my best? I'll try my best. Yeah, that's a horrible base color. I always struggle getting a nice base color for wood. It's just... It's my Achilles heel. Okay, if we do that, and now if we're like, okay, now I want to pick up all of this edge stuff, right? Edge stuff. If we try to do what we did earlier and we go curvature and stuff, we're not going to get any of that information. You're gonna get nothing. It won't find it. What you can do, however, is go File, Export. As long as you've got the normals on here, File, Export. Export it. It's just normals. So I've made these just normals for import. But if you actually go into here, you can create a new one and then basically just drag in normals and you're done. And you can use that to export just normals. So come into here, go into PNG, go into 2K, it's fine. Go to desktop, select, and then just go export. Because I'm only exporting normals here. Cool. I actually have a tutorial showing this as well. So, bear in mind. Oh, where is it? Did I not just do it to my desktop? Oh, there it is. That took a long time. Oh, that's fine. Now, you re-import that. So I'm dragging it from my other desktop. So if I actually, just to show you guys specifically what I'm doing there specifically, I'll drag it here. So you can see I got that normal map. Drag that into your content browser. I drag a lot of stuff. A lot of people go, oh, go file import. I like dragging. Dragging these nuts. Now, that should have imported. If I, what's it called? What did it get? Bleh. Wood plane something. So if we go wood plane, there we go. Now we I haven't baked any of it yet, so if you were to bake it normally without using this, it would just look like this. It won't change anything. But you'll get all your maps in here now. So if I drag this into here, it will add those normals. Now I can get rid of these two and we'll still have the normals, right? Now this is the cool part. Untick normals and we'll go 2K. Now tick bake. And it will take this normal map you've just brought in and it will generate those edges, that curvature. And as you can see, we now can use that to generate a texture from it. Something like that. Overlay. Something like this. Ooh, doesn't quite like that. Please upload Sora on YouTube. I'm feeling tired. Have a good day. Don't worry, there is already a video for it. If you actually go into my channel, the whole video will also be uploaded. Oh dang, that was sick. Yeah, that's how I do. That's how I did a lot of the stuff in my other scene. It saves a lot of time. This doesn't look right though. Am I crazy? This is just surface. I need to rebake. So if you don't like how it looks, you can go into your settings. I just want to do ambient occlusion. You can start messing these sliders around to see if you can get a better look. So it's not really generating any ambient occlusion, which makes sense. The normals aren't that strong, so that's probably why. What about the bake stylized filter environment? Do you mean like the post-processing in the engine? I just want to quickly... Hold on a minute. Ambient occlusion. Secondary way. Secondary way. Nope. There's got to be a way for me to pick up some more of this ambient occlusion. Has it really got that little ambient occlusion on it? Man, I can't really pick up ambient occlusion. That's a shame. It's not even picking up the areas I want it to pick up. It's just doing the edge. That's a shame. So it doesn't quite work for this because it's not got enough ambient occlusion detailing. Click the style button, lol. I could do that, kind of fake it. Kind of gives us some, like, ambient occlusion. And then again, you can come into here and start doing like your edge fades and stuff. But yeah, it's a quick way to get a texture looking done without having to do a lot of work to get to that point. Yeah, there's substance to help enhance the details of getting the model more realistic. I know many people that use, but I don't know how to use it. Wait. Yes, they're in substance to help enhance details of getting... So wait, you talk about more realistic stuff then. I'm also not sure if you're not rendering... When you're making something for games anyway, you're not rendering any of it in substance. I assume you mean this button here that actually renders it, right? Where it's putting it into environment, you can actually render. But, I mean, depending on what you're making it for, I'm making it for games, so I'll never use that renderer anyway because I don't want to show off in there. This is not blurring very well at all. Again, you set that to multiply. Bring that down. Something like this. Something like this. Click the make realistic button. But yeah, so using a material without having to use a high poly, you can get some... You get kind of looking like you've textured it, right? But it depends if you've got a nice base material. The base material I'm using had some nice normals in it, so that was perfect to take advantage of that. Boom. So that gives it some... You see that? It's like, it doesn't look like I've added a lot, but as soon as you turn it off and on, you're like, ah, yeah. And there we go. We've got some nice basic looking wood. So funny, Moose. he's sitting there like, so funny. Oh. I thought I had the other one sit behind it. Okay, continue with this before I get too distracted. If you could describe quite a little bit more what you mean, Marcus, I'll be able to help out. Because I assume you just mean using the rendering tool, but maybe you don't. Because like you don't apply your filters in. Well, I guess if you mean filters, you could mean like some of the filters in here, like for your black masks and stuff. And then these will help you do specific things. So if you want to have it so anything facing upwards can have a dust applied to it, or just some lightness, you could always use it as a way to wait, is this filter? No, that'd be in generator. Oh, yeah, filters are just filters. One cool filter though is if we actually go, let's pick up ambient occlusion. Where are we right now? Canon wood. So we're just doing the wood right now. So let's pick up some ambient occlusion. What am I doing? Right. Yeah, so ambient occlusion. There's a cool filter. It's the blur slope. If you turn that down, get it to the level you want. You can kind of start making it look like it's a brushed effect. God, it is too low res, I think, to work. Yeah, it's a little low res, unfortunately, but if I blur this a bit, you then use this to kind of make it look like it's a painted effect. See that? I'll say min probably works better. Min, max. Then if I set that to multiply, it doesn't work too well. But yeah, if you make a whole asset using that blur filter, you'll get some really nice effects. Okay, again, we're going down to here, and we're making some highlights, some manual highlights. I hate doing manual highlights, so we get some here because I like the lighting doing it, but sometimes you have sort of no choice. Do a little bit coming over here like that. Get rid of some of that here. Get some around here. Oh yeah, I reduced it to fix that a little bit as well. This, and we get our second layer, and we get it more intense around here. Perfect. We get a little bit. It's more around here like that, and a little bit over here, like that. Cool. See, this looks way too strong now. It looks good over here. Actually, it doesn't quite. I think I need to turn it down there as well. Cool. Make the brush a bit bigger. Start blending it away a little bit. A bit more like that. And then get some manual highlighting in there. Something more like that. Oh my god, why didn't this lag out so much? Looking a little bit better over there. Cool. And then I want some more dark spots. Is that a dark spot? Yes, it is. Cool. So use this, and I want to get some more But that actually seems like there's a thick line coming across here like that, right? Coming to here, we can emphasize that a little bit. Do that, and then fade a little bit like that, right? And then we want a third one that comes across the entire bottom like this. Not too much, actually. It's starting to flow down. Like something like that. Yes. Turn that down a tad to help it blend. Cool. Come see my show. I hate joining the stream because Steve-O has a vision that I myself could never fully grasp. And it makes me angry. Oh no. Sorry. So we want some highlights here. So the problem is, again, it's to do with lighting. If we move the lighting here, we're like, oh, it doesn't quite look right in the highlights there. But we're gonna have to highlight. We're gonna have the light mainly in one area, right? So we're gonna not be too worried about that. So we want this to be more highlighted across here. We've got our flow weaker, so we can actually start getting rid of a little bit of that, a little bit here. Change that over. That's looking pretty good. Yeah, that looks way closer to what I'm looking for. Let's actually make that a nice big bit here. Nice big bit over here. Then if we want, I can grab some dark bits, put them over here. Oh, put them over here. Oh, I don't even see that doing anything. Where's the dark layers? It's the red ones, weren't it? Oh, I just changed picture. Go back. Okay. What's the dark bits over here? We want it to come a bit darker here. I don't want it to look fully like a shadow. I kind of want it to look like the wood's just changing color around there. To not fully cement that I'm basically just painting shadows and highlights, right? Looks pretty good. I'm going to do one more of these layers. That's going to actually work as a sharp one. Wow, I actually kind of like that turned up a little bit. There you go. And this one going to work as a sharp one. I'm going to highlight some of this edge here and some of this edge here. I've got this like white bit on there that's kind of supposed to work as the highlight. I don't like it very much. So I'm going to turn it down to almost non-existent. Oh, I don't even like it on. Because if you look at his drawing, he has lines like that. Like, they're just thick lines. But it's just really hard to make it work. At least from... I find it very hard to make it work. Just a better way of putting it. For stuff like this. Where is it? Oh god, which one was it? Oh, it's one of those. So we're definitely adding a decent amount of colour. You can see it change, right? I feel like this needs to be a bit weaker. Yeah. Definitely getting more colour over here. We've neglected this one, so we'll go over here for a bit. Because again, I want to make it so you can at least rotate the model. So we'll get some extra coloring and highlights over here. Make it look a bit more warmer. I like saying terms like that because it makes it sound like I know more about what I'm doing. Oh, let's just add some warmer colors over here. Yes, very good, very good. Cool. Got underline sweet. We'll get our edge as well. Too thin. Again, we've not got the flow on max, so we're not fully applying any of these. Let's get that nice. Oh, I like it here. That's causing a really nice effect. Get a little bit up here. Here. Oh, ooh. I'll do the same over here. But nice, sharp up here. Here. I'm gonna get rid of those highlights. Where are they? I don't like them. This one. It is at 83. What if I turn it to just a soft? I still don't like it. What if I blur it a bit more? I don't mind that too much. It just gives it a very subtle highlight. I mean, I could always go back to hard. Get the colour to be a bit more... not white. A bit more here. And then tone it down a tad. get a highlight coming in over there. Oh, you know what? I've also got all this turned on. That probably doesn't help. That's actually working a bit better. It's a little bit too strong over there, so I'm going to get rid of some of that over here. Okay. Oh, wood's definitely looking a bit better, a bit more closer to what we're trying to replicate. Here, it looks like it's... To be fair, his whole mesh looks a little bit more washed out than I got mine. But if we've got mine a little bit too saturated, we could just basically make it so when we get it in engine, we just tone down that saturation a bit. So I'm not too fussed. As long as I make everything universally more saturated, we should be fine. You know what I'm saying? Now, I mean... I still think this bake is annoying. But what are you going to do? Cool. Now I want some scratches. What do I want? Some scratches? Oh, I need to finish this part here. Don't know what's going on here. Like, kept baking like that. No idea why. It wasn't good at going like here. Do you see that? It really doesn't like some of these things. Oh, we've got some here too. What is that? Might have to rebake the bottom. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not too fussed right now. We can do it off stream. Well, I can do it off stream. Do I want some highlights appearing on here? Probably. We got like a bit coming around here. A bit more around here. Got actually those will be separate. Got a bit that comes up over here, down here. Turn you up. We'll get a little bit more over here to make it a bit warmer. Now we get some bits like here. Oh, I want this. I want this to be a little less, or a little, maybe cover it a bit more. There you go. Sweet, and we're going to the reds now. There's a lighting over here. It's already got a lot of red over here, which is good. It's exactly what I'm looking for, but I just want a little bit down here. And the flow up. Cool. Yes, that looks pretty good. Cool. Now, I don't want to do over-exaggerated highlights, because what I could do is I could go, yeah, he's got highlights drawn on the actual cannon itself, and I could come into here, and I could just go black mask, and I could just go, boom, get some flow in there, turn up some sharpness, and we could just go like this, pull this outwards like this. Looks like a penis. Something like that. Then you can take that color, make it a hard light. So almost white, just a slight off, so we get some of that blue piercing through. And then put a little bit of a blur around it. That, and then yeah, and then I could change some of that detailing. It's got like, how did I just do that? I just moved the flow. What? Okay. Turn this much lower on here. And I could, yeah, try to replicate some highlights, right? I wanted to affect the actual metal, and it doesn't look too good, but you know what I mean. I could like draw actual highlights, but I think that's going a bit too far anyway, because I still want it to be lit realistically in a scene to an extent. So I feel like we're just going to have to ignore that. So what I want to do right now is I want to... Actually, that's fine. I want to finish off all of this. Oh, wow. Look at how awful that is. I never got around to it because I just got distracted with a lot of other things. Where's the height? Wait. Hold on a minute. What? Oh, I still got it baked. Interesting. So I can't have it baked yet. Wait, so what layer is giving me that, though? Yeah, technically, I shouldn't have it baked right now. I don't know what the base actually uses for its high poly, though. I guess it probably just uses itself, right? Just does, because there's no actually high poly on it. Look at him working so diligently. Thank you. Probably end stream soon. I'll probably finish a lot of this off stream. Get done through the week, like after work, just like try to be productive. That reminds me, I actually have a game playing in the background, which may be why we're running a bit slow today. It's gonna take me ages. I'm like AFK farming right now, but it's taking a very long time. Cool. So that's probably good enough for what I want. If I turn all that back on, we should get those normals back. What am I? It feels like I'm on... I am on 4K. So it feels like I'm on 4K. It's fine. As long as it's not too laggy, it's better to work on 4K because then I can downres it afterwards. So wait, that... Oh, it does have a normal on it still, right? Where's it coming from? Here? Oh. It is that, yeah. So, if we actually look, it's only at the top parts, but we need to basically add all those on around it, and some here, some here, some here. So there's a bit of extra detailing I need to do, but I think it's enough. I think it's like enough to make it worth doing. Yes, yes, yes! Oh, yes. Yep. Okay, so... let's up the hardness, turn down the size drastically. And we do this. Cool. Now I can just fill in some of these areas that are clearly wrong. Oh wait, have I got flow as well? Yeah, there you go. Sweet. Don't want it there. Let's just clean it up. Where is the... oh yeah, cool. Oh, okay. You ever do that, guys? Like, you're like... you'll fully do something. You're like, yeah, perfect. And then you make a mistake. Oh, I got to undo the whole thing now. All right. Oh, wait. Why did your message get deleted? Message retracted. Oh. Is it something I said? Oh, the gold doesn't fully go on there. That was a problem I was having as well, is I couldn't get it to fully pick up the edge, which is fine because I could just fix it manually like this using a paint layer. It's just a little bit extra work, which I always try to avoid, but sometimes I feel like somebody's watching me. Well, I actually painted most of it manually by the looks of it. Not too much. That's fine. I don't mind it getting a little bit thick towards the end. I don't know about this though. Obviously you can see the hard edge. I might make that edge soft. I'm not sure yet. I'm going to watch the tutorial about fluid flux water system. Ooh, I was actually using fluid flux in my latest project at work. I'm not going to say I know how to use it though, because it was very it was something. Oh, so all of this needs to still be cleaned up. As much as generators can help, sometimes they will not just completely do something for you, which is like, utter shame because I would love for it to be a single button click and it does everything for you. But unfortunately, you'll likely have to do some of it yourself. As you can see over here. Hold on a minute. Did I swear I did all this before. I must have neglected to do the sides you can't see. Well, I will make it so you can see it eventually. Like, I kind of want to do a 360 spin of the asset. I just put it up on as a marmoset document or something. We'll see. Or just do a generic 360 spin that I render out. One thing I wish I had at my company, the teacher. Someone who can actually train me to get better. But I don't. I'm essentially the lead slash... I'm not essentially the lead. I am the lead in my company and essentially the highest... But there's only 2 artists in my company, me and somebody else. Well, we sometimes keep getting a third, but they keep leaving for a better job. Not a better job because ours is bad, but we're a small indie company, so a lot of places will offer higher pay and stuff. And who doesn't want to take higher pay? So that's just something my boss talked about a little bit a while ago. And he was like, you shouldn't leave halfway through a project, blah, 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 blah. And I know what he means. And he's showing passion for the project himself. However, we live in a time where, for some people, it will take you 15 years of saving up your wage non-stop to get a house. It wasn't like that 20 to 40 years ago. You didn't have to save that much of your money and not do luxury things to afford a house. So people these days are going to go more towards the money than ever. So when my boss used to say about, oh, but loyalty, you should show loyalty to the projects and this and stuff, I'm like, mate, people only show loyalty to money. What a game your company... My company has not made a game yet, unfortunately. I won't talk about why, but unfortunately there still hasn't been a game made by us, which is a shame, because I've got nothing to show from working here for 2 years. 2 years? In April, it'd be 2 years. March... Wait. Yeah. January, February, March, April. Yeah. As much as I was like, yeah, go look at this game I made, guys. I can't, because we've not actually published anything. Which is a utter shame. Because at the end of the day, I'd like to be able to show off what I've actually made. But I can't. In the world of business, it is all about the money. Exactly. Like, I don't know. I think it's just... a thing you can't tell people, otherwise. You can't tell someone, no, you need to stay here. I've lost respect for you because you picked money over the project. No. Your generation ruined money for us. We need money more than ever. I say that. That's a very common thing to say to people. Your generation ruined, things for us today. And, yeah, as a generation, they kind of did in different regards, but them personally, you can't blame that specific person because they don't usually have any bearing over that. But when they come out of stuff like, oh yeah, you gotta care, you can't, you lack passion for it if you're looking at it for the money. No, I'm sorry, I need the money. I want to be able to live in a house one day that I own. I want to not have to worry about rising bills on rent because I've paid off a house. I want security in my life. You should never put someone down for that. Yes, maybe years ago, when a lot of jobs paid the same in this industry, when it was easier to own a house on even a lower income. But I'm very against my boss when he talks about leaving a company for money. Because that's called advancing your career. And we're not a well-known company as well. So even if you're leaving it to advance your career, right? if Ubisoft was like, Steve, you want to come work with us? I'd be like, ooh, that is very tempting. And they're like, oh, it's the same wage as what you're earning now. I'd still say, ooh, that's pretty tempting, because they're quite frankly, they're a big studio. It's gonna look way better. It's gonna be way better for my career working for them than it is working here, like that I work right now. And if my boss sees that as a bad thing, he sees that as a bad thing. I can't tell him otherwise. Let's see a bit over here too. Oh, my flow's not fully on. I did not realize. Oh. Bosses hate their competitors. I mean, yeah, true. Weirdly enough, this part actually, I did that, but this part doesn't look like it does that. Oh, hold on a minute. What happened here? That side's fine. What happened over here? But if anyone in my company, I've never had to say this, but if anyone in my company does say to me, oh, Steve, what do you think? A company's offering me this job. It's paying me way more. It's a bigger company. I'll get more recognition in the industry working there. But we're halfway through a project, and I don't want to disappoint the boss. What should I do? I'd tell them, go take the job. I would freaking feel so bad telling them not to take it. Like, if everything about the job you want to take is good for you, don't think about the company you're working in. Does my job care about us? Does my boss care about us? I like to think he does to an extent. I think he's a very nice boss. But I'll put it this way. He has said a couple of times, we're a family here. If a boss ever says, we're a family here, it's not a good sign. Your boss should never see you as family. They should see you as workers. They can be friendly with you, and they can have a good time with you and see you as a pal, but not see you as a family. I'm going to rub that out. I can hear my dogs barking downstairs. Well, not barking, they're huskies, so they're like... So we want to do the opposite, right? We want to get a lighter color, it seems. And we want to go in the opposite direction. Oh, so 5 is still fine. We just want to go +5. Then I should have a lighter. Yeah, that's perfect. A slightly lighter version. It goes here. That sits on top. I've heard of family companies. I'm kind of in one, and I don't necessarily think that bosses should see their workers as a number and not... I'm not saying see them as a number, but they still need to see you as a worker. Seeing you as an emotional attachment, aka like a family, is just always a bad thing. Because you're going to be... Because as a employee, you're going to have times where you're going to feel bad about picking a better job, for example. And like a job that advances your career, because you're going to be like emotionally attached to it, and that shouldn't happen. Work is work. And if you want it to be like a family, go for it. But I would just advise against it personally. I mean, a big reason bosses tend to say we're a family here because they want to have that effect on it. They want you to want to work 3 hours. They want you to do all this stuff. Now, I don't think my boss... Well, actually, I don't think my boss calls us a family for that reason. But he does definitely want... He's definitely very... in it for like, oh yeah, you know, if you want, do some free work. I'm like, no. Every time I do work for my boss, that's good. I will make sure I am getting something for it, like time in lieu. Turn it up a little bit. I mean, there are going to be cases where... Hold on a minute. Oh, whoops. That's why that looks like it. There are obviously going to be cases where, like, being a family at a company is a good thing, because you actually do really enjoy everyone there and stuff. It's just, more often than not, it's not usually going to be a good thing. You did that whole monologue and got something done. Exactly. That looks like it's coming over too far, but if I do this, 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 and then match up to here. This, this, this. Something like that. Then we basically want to turn you on, turn you down. I think I want stronger normals. That's good. Cool, and then we just need to do that with everything. So we've got to put it over here. This. Again, dude. Oh yeah, it's going to want to here. Oh, it's going to be annoying. It's fine. Yeah, it's fine, because I can go into the actual 2D view and rub it out when we actually go into it on here. So if I just ignore it for a second, and we get the shape we're looking for, so it just comes down to here, it comes down like that. This, and we don't care about going over. We come into here, and you know what? I bet that's gonna. Oh no, it doesn't. Does it? Oh, that's a huge stroke in here. Jesus. Oh, it does. I hate that it does that. Why does this affect this? It's fine. We can do it nice and clean. Like that. I mean, I could just select the face, but the problem is that's coming over here as well. So if I go to deselect the face, we'll get rid of it over here. It would fix the issue here, but we're getting rid of the face over here. God, I hate it. Why is that a thing? If I'm painting on this map, it shouldn't affect this map, because this, where is that? This is this, but it's the same here. If I paint over this, it paints over the rest of it. It's always bothered me. I don't know if there is a solution to it in Substance. In Substance. Because I think it's supposed to be an intentional thing. It's like, no, because it allows you to paint over if you need to. Because it's like, it's ignoring the seam. I'm like, no, I want the seam. The seam's there for a good reason. This part needs to be way thicker. Even in the concept, it's way thicker. Not just in mine. There was any option for that. Oh, there was an option for that. Where? It's very limited, isn't it? In like the 2D space. See, that's just different thingies. Because that'd be super helpful. Because it also means I could do these parts without caring about going over to this. I could just mask it out, but then I got to make loads of different masks. Because I want metal on here. I want this gold on here. But I could just create tons of different masks. Actually, I guess I could just use a mask. One for the base. And one for there, right? So if I do a duplicate of this. Do a separate one. Black mask this. Pop that in there. Make that a separate layer. Cool. Then in here. We black mask. And only select the major areas like this, this, and this, like so. And then this one, this layer, we select this, 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 and this. Like that. So we just keep it as separate layers. That resolves the issue, even if it is annoying. Hold on a minute. Wait, what did I just do wrong? Oh, did I not change everyone? I did it. Whoops. Not this, not this. This, this. There you go. So now I can come into here. Oh, whoa. Why is it doing that? That's still underneath, is it not? Well, now I'm very confused. There was any option for that. Oh, I found it. Change alignment to UV. Wait, where's alignment? In paint. Oh, in the actual paint, like in here. You're like, no, not there. Oh, or do I got to click paint itself? I'm very confused as to why that's broken it. I'm very confused. If I now white mask this. What? Why would I have any difference? Why is it not working when it's in here? Oh, it is. Well, now I'm even more confused. No, it's not. What? But it's on top of these layers. What is that? Oh. Wait, really? When I copied it, it didn't keep the settings in the height? I know it did. Oh, no, but it did. Oh, because I'm in a folder. That'd be why. Blow jitter. Alignment. Ah. Oh, wait. I can't test it 1 second. Let me just quickly boom. Outside of the layer. Boom. Oh my god, that is so helpful. You have no idea how long that has annoyed me for. It should always be set on that by default. Because like you can just paint over here. Then when you're in here, specifically in the UVs, you don't want to do that. Oh my god, that is so nice. What am I doing here? So here. I mean, I've kept them separate now, and it's probably better to keep them separate anyway, so I will continue keeping them separate. But thank you very much. It's super helpful. You have no idea. Well, you do have an idea, but... Is that selected? Hold on a minute. Oh, it is. So I can actually resolve some of these issues here already. Yeah, so you go to here... Go back to up here. There you go. I can then just go like this. Well, it doesn't matter now because it's got separate layering. But if I hadn't just done that, I would fix it like that. That's so cool. Oh my god. Anyways, let's continue. I'm probably going to be called for dinner very soon. Oh. Freaking MVP, Mr. Malkbo. Malkbo? Malkbai? It's not. That can't be Bao. Bye. So I'm just reading some stuff in the chats to make sure I've not missed anything. Okay. Now, this is actually 2K, so we're actually going to be seeing this when we're finished at more of a... 4K, sorry. We're going to be seeing it as a 2K, so it's actually only going to be that dense of a texture. I mean, obviously, it's a very small part of it, so it's supposed to be. I know I keep repeating that. Like, oh, it's only a small part, guys, so don't worry. But I want to get that part very, very straightforward here, especially when you're making your own assets. If you're like this on your asset, don't worry if it looks low quality. I feel like that's a very common thing. People will like get kind of upset of their own assets because they're like, no, it's not high enough quality though. I'm like, it's fine. You're not supposed to get that close to it in a video game. And if you are, you will start applying stuff like detailed normals instead. So don't worry about it. So I'm going to do something like this. Come around here. A bit more. Come around here. Is it, how close is it? It's not that close. Come around here. Here. Oh, so here I can do that now, right? So where is this? Here. Man, I'm so glad that's an option. Oh, so freaking nice. I can even clean up the underside that you don't see, like here, without worrying. Go. Oh. Wait, how did I end up back in paint? What happened? Back in paint, back in gold. Gold. Comes like here, comes around. Not quite to there, more like this, and it comes back. It comes more like this, actually. Or down and then back. Yeah, that's good. So I'll actually be baking the normals for all of these as well, so they should get some extra ambient occlusion detailing and stuff as well. Let's turn this on just to get a slight amount. Good to help. You are amazing. I got this like really high, right? Yeah, look at that's so high. Now I don't mind it being in a different place, but it might be a bit too much. Get that a little bit lower to make it, make my life a little bit easier. A bit more than that. We probably want to have like a 1, like a solid 1. Probably about there. Yeah, it looks about right. Again, I've obviously said this so many times. You guys like, stop, Steve, you need to stop repeating yourself. I do not worry about things not being actually aligned. Mostly for stylized, I will say. Because when it comes to stylized, you don't want things to be symmetrical. You want them to be asymmetrical. It gives it charm. Technically, even with realistic stuff, you want little bits of asymmetrical stuff because it gives it more realism, because nothing in real life is going to be completely symmetrical. But that's when you're getting... Oh, I haven't got any back here. That's when you're getting like really detailed with what you're making. 1. Not that one, that one. 1. 2. 2. 1. 1. 2. 1. So really good concept art is one where you can basically copy the processes that they would have done to make the concept art to make your 3D. If your concept art is that good, I'm a happy boy. I can make that entire model. I like to think I can make that entire model and look relatively similar to your concept. Now, that's, you guys can disagree with me, tell me, nah, Steve, your stuff's okay, but it's not that close to the original concept, and that's fine. But I like to think my best, some of the thing I'm best at is I'm all right at replicating something. I can't make things unique. I can't make things completely new from the top of my head. But if you give me like a concept, I feel like I actually have a really good time replicating something. yeah, this is the stage where you're going to be taking a lot of extra time, just getting all this like minor detailing in. A little bit less. Get this on. I definitely think that was a huge improvement to this back part here. Actually having it a physical mesh, that looks so much better. It makes me kind of want to do more of it as a physical mesh. Because I think in general it looked better. And if I do, like, I think this turned out pretty good. Because it's a game asset at the end of the day. We want to keep it relatively low poly. So having everything physical meshes is going to be not the best way. Maybe it will be these days with nanites. But usually it's not the best way to make something more optimized and more game ready. Do that. Let's get that part in. There you go. Not quite right. Definitely needs to cut around more. It is a funny thing there, because obviously a lot of people will come into my streams. I've had this a lot, and they'd be like, oh, can you help me make this thing, whatever. And one, I do a lot of stuff in my spare time because I want to have fun doing it. So most of the time, I'm just going to be, no, I don't want to help you make something. I'm making this myself because it's fun. I'm not doing this to earn money. That's what I have my full-time job for. When I'm being forced to make something else that someone else wants, it's not as fun. Now, that's not the main part I was going to talk about. What I find funny is people not understanding how long things take. As you can see, I'm doing all this extra detailing here because I want this really nice model when we get to the end of all this, with all this extra detailing. And people, even in my company, seem to forget how long all this extra, hey Nabble, all this extra work takes. Cool, I got that on. Kind of want to turn this up a bit more. And turn up the normals on that as well. Nope, 001, I think. Oh, no, it's 01. There you go. My scratch is still on here. Oh, wait. What? Oh, is it this one? Oh, there you go. I say, when did I get rid of the scratches? So now we're looking for bits over here. Alright, so if we just do like a square, right? Make it actually more square-like. There you go. Definitely needs to come out more. It's not really a square, more like a rectangle. And then it comes over. Comes in and out. Like that. A bit deeper, actually. Goes in, out. Yeah, there you go. More like that. Great stuff, but why don't you name the layers, even just for personal stuff? Oh, because it takes so long. Look how many layers I got. Think how long that would take. I actually watched a professional artist talk about this probably about a year ago now. She's really, really good. And she was like, talk about how she never names her layers as well. She's like, it just takes so much extra time. And I was like, yeah. Like, I would be more willing to name layers when it comes to work-related stuff if I know somebody else is going to edit the files. Because if you look at my materials for work, they're particularly, they're very neat. But when it comes to personal stuff specifically, I'm just like, nah. It's not fun to name layers, so I'm not doing it. I do this for personal stuff because I want it to be fun. So if it's something I don't find fun, I'm likely going to avoid it. Oh yeah, I got these scratches on it here. That's cool. There's actually one up here. It's like right here. Wow. That is so strong. Wait, have I... Is float on? Float is on. Let's turn the flow down. There you go. Pulse tooth. Oh, and then turn that on, right. That's better. That's a scratch I'm looking for. Bit higher. Soft, hard, soft. Why is it looking weird there? Oh, there you go. I think it was just being... Substance was just being a bit weird. You know what? I should really clean some of these up, actually. But you know what? Let's just get this out of here. And then manually do it again. Turn you on. Yep, keep the flow on. Something more like... Ooh, not quite. Not quite, not quite. See, it's more of a straight cut anyway, more like that. Why does it keep... You see that? It's got like a bumpiness there. It's weird. You can't see it when you're at distance, so it probably doesn't matter, but it's annoying. Back into here, make sure the flow's full. Cool. Oh, you know what? That's not even on this side. Well, what's happening here? It's literally, if you look... Oh, if you look... It was funny actually talk about the layering things. My friend... Oh yeah, if you look there, sorry, I was thinking... it's not on here. It might be on here. I'm not sure. But if I can avoid doing it, I might just only do it one. And yeah, my friend used to say this to me all the time. It's like, why don't you name your layers? Why don't you name your layers? And we both watched this artist. And then she was like, yeah, I don't name my layers. And basically for the same reasons I don't. And I was like, haha. It's better to name them. It's not like I'm trying to justify that it's better to just not name them. But at the end of the day, it's for fun. It's not causing me any harm in the future. Like it's not really reducing how fast it can go. You see that? It's like it's not processing it, and then it causes these jitteriness. It's really weird. Is that because of the distance? No, look, it keeps. Yeah, that's fine. It's very minute detailing anyway. Like very, very small. In fact, that's too small anyway. It needs to be like here. 1, 2. Good. Oh. Uh-oh. Oh. What's it doing? Oh, there you go. Save it quick. There we go. This one's kind of wrong. This looks like a nice shape, but it's wrong. Oh, is it because there's spacing? Not after spacing, that's why. Spacing's the weirdest thing. Why is spacing a thing on by default? Do you guys know? I've always thought that was so strange. Oh, actually, it's still doing it. Was that just because I went too fast? Nope, it's still doing it, whatever. So this one's kind of like here-ish. It kind of just goes slice. Yeah, it's good. Oh, you know what? That hole's in the wrong place. Whatever. There's a lot of stuff not quite in the right place in this project, but it's all very good enough. I kind of want to go base real quick. I kind of want to be based real quick, and I want to make this part here a little bit lighter. Oh, we got loads. It's because I'm in 4K. I should turn it down briefly. Oh, no, this part's in 2K. That's fine. This part? Yes. If I come into here, I just quickly want to do a nice little highlighted bit. And I think I'm going to end stream very, very shortly. just do a bit like that. That's roughly what it looks like. And if we go over here, I kind of want some right here. Actually comes over like this. More like that. We want to do a nice thick blur. As thick as we can go. Okay, maybe not as thick as we can go, Jesus. Probably something like that. Nice highlight. Turn off all the parts that's affecting over here. I know my mic's not in the right place. Turn this up. Yeah, that's pretty much what I want. I think I could probably get away with soft light instead. No. Definitely don't want a hard light. I mean, I could reduce this. No, definitely not unless I find the exact color I'm looking for, which would probably be around here. Oh, you know what? Yeah, that's about right. I need to adjust the shaping a little bit. So this needs to come a little bit to a sharper point over here. Like that. And this part, this needs to be much more here. Kind of all here. Faded along there a bit more. Like that. Like that. And then it just needs to be weaker in general. Not on. And then, nope. And then slightly reduce some of it there. Over here. Over here. Yeah, like that. And a very, very slight reduction there. A little bit more over here. Less here. I still think I prefer an overlay though. No, overlay just doesn't look quite right. It gets way too red. I mean, I could always just do that. Go to white, and then do a duplicate, and just have two, and then have this one much more reduced. Yeah, that's closer. And I want one more. Yeah, I definitely need that to be reduced in general. There you go. And I have one more, and then this one will be set to, we'll just do an overlay again, I'd say. Make it completely white. And all I want here, just, again, highlights should technically come up in your lighting, but with Starlight, it's always awkward to just not do it a bit more manual. Like that, we've got like, sort of thick line, thin. But for some reason, my hand's shaking right at the end. Okay. Something like that. We could tone that down just a tad. Blend in a bit more. Perfect. Then we could do a similar thing over here. Like that. Cool, and that looks a little bit better down there. Nice. All right, we're going to call it a day. Again, I'll probably finish it off stream. I hope you guys enjoyed. We're getting very, very close to a finished product. And yeah, I will catch you guys next Friday, where we continue our very important work. I can hear my dogs barking outside. Bye, bye.